without further ado, Coach Carla, please enter in.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
Do you take a seat?
I will. Hi, ladies. Ladies, because I talk a lot, but you all look absolutely fabulous. And I'm not going to get emotional, but thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate your support. You look beautiful.
Okay, so let's get the show started. So Coach Carla, just tell us a bit about yourself. How did your journey start?
Okay, some of you may have heard this before, but my journey as a coach started a long, long time ago. My mum used to say to me, Carla, you were about 7 or 8, the phone never stopped ringing because you were always, that shoulder to cry on for your friends. You used to motivate them and keep them going. And as I grew up, I love to sort of inspire people, just but through general conversation. And it wasn't until I was pregnant with my firstborn Nylah in 2006, and I was watching an episode of the Jeremy Kyle show.
You went there?
I went there.
No disrespect, Jeremy. We love you, Jeremy. We really
I was
do.
nesting, so I was taking in some not so great TV. Anyway, there was a coach on there. And I don't often think they have coaches on there. They usually have counsellors and stuff, but there was a coach on there. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. So I'd done all my research and stuff, and the Coaching Academy had a 2-day workshop. So I had my daughter, I think she was about 4 months old, and I went to the workshop, and it was amazing. Day 1 was amazing. It was in a beautiful hotel. They gave us breakfast and lunch. Ooh. It was amazing. Day 2 was fantastic. But then I was like, at the end, there was a little bit of a sales pitch. And when they said how much the course was, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. So that was sort of dampening and limiting myself. Anyway, I went back to work after maternity leave, and I was telling everybody about this course. And there was a lady that I used to work with called Deborah Gordon. Hey, Deborah. And she said, Carla, there's courses out there. And she gave me some details of courses. And I went on the course, and I became a qualified life coach.
Wow.
So yes.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Even whilst you was pregnant with your child, with your first,
yes,
it was like having that vision, seeing that, and then obviously once you've birthed, had your daughter,
yes,
and your daughter's amazing because she's a part of the journey.
Thank
she
you.
just the housekeeping and everything else. So it's just amazing to see that, and just also, just hearing from her as well.
Yeah.
But in regards to the Coach Carla's consultancy, could you give us a bit more information in regards to the Coach Carla Consultancy?
So,
how does that work?
In terms of my consultancy, today is the official launch. In my 9-to-5 job, I work as an intervention coach, so I am coaching the young people. However,
that's your full-time job.
That's my full-time job. And I was like, you know what? I'm doing this with the young people. I'm a qualified life coach. I need to do something about it. And I procrastinated for such a long time. And I spoke to some of my colleagues, one who's she doesn't work with us anymore, but she's in the audience, Verna. She's also a coach. And Verna sat with me. She gave me some coaching sessions. And she's like, Carla, you've got to do this. You've got to do this. So today is the launch of the consultancy. It's a life coaching consultancy and personal development. So I'm helping people to move forward, to hit those goals, to stop limiting themselves, to reach those milestones and celebrate them, because we don't celebrate enough.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So in regards to our viewers who's watching us on Facebook Live, Instagram, and our live audience,
of course,
how can these ladies or men connect with you?
Okay, so I'm on Instagram, so it's Coach Carla 2018. My website should have been launched today, but we had a few technical
these things do happen.
Issues, so it will be launching at the end of the week. So you can reach out to me there. My business cards are all in your goodie bags, so you can reach out to me there. And I'm also on Facebook, so I'm Coach Carla MM, and the MM stands for Motivational Mornings, because I have a WhatsApp group. Some of my ladies are in the audience, and every morning I like to send a message to the ladies. They send one, and we just interact, and they inspire me as well to keep going.
So how do you keep that momentum going? How do you manage to stay motivated to be able to share a motivational message with your ladies? How do you do it?
How do I do it? Kaz, let me tell you, every day, I'm not always on cloud nine. I don't jump out of bed saying, hey, like every day.
Why not?
Some
Yeah.
days you just don't,
Course.
it's just not like that. But I think that you have to, I like to sort of reflect a lot. And sometimes you have a moan and a groan, but you have to just be in the moment. And that's what my mum says to me a lot. She says, Carla, be in the moment, appreciate who you have around you. And I guess that's what kind of keeps me going. Yeah.
So what challenges have you occurred in terms of, starting up with the Coach Carla Consultancy?
Yeah.
Even like, where you said at the beginning you wasn't financially able to, go and do that coaching. But have you occurred any form of challenges?
I would say for me, in getting the consultancy started, was the procrastination. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to do it tomorrow. And that tomorrow turns into months and years sometimes. And ladies, what I would say is that when you have something, try and go for it. Even if you just take small steps, but just try and take those small steps. So procrastination for me was a massive issue. But what I like is that when you've got supporters, and what I call, these are people that are saying, do that. They're always they champion you.
Yeah.
And I listen to my supporters. I have a fantastic circle of people, thank you, Lord, who say, Carla, this is what you should be doing. This is what you should be doing. Mum, this is what you should be doing. And sometimes you have to listen to that, and it feels right. This feels right.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Well done. And, in regards to going back to procrastination, like you said, I just want to add to it, sometimes we're procrastinating so much because we also think that today is guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed.
Absolutely.
People are dying whether you're 5 or right into your 100 years old, but no one knows their expiry date.
Yes.
So in regards to, if you've got something that's burning inside of you, just step out.
Absolutely.
Just do it. And the thing is, even if you fell, wouldn't you rather have tried to be able to say, you know what, I tried? And that's where you give yourself a pat on the back, because I think sometimes we're so scared
to fail.
Yeah. And actually failing is really great because then you know what not to do. Do you know what I mean?
And it's a lesson. And what I also say to people is learn from other people's mistakes. Yes, we have to make our own mistakes, but we also can learn from somebody else. Learn from other people's advice. Take their advice. Listen. Because that's another way to kind of get, achieve what you set out to achieve.
Definitely.
So learn from other people's mistakes. And that's what I tell my children as well.
Okay, so moving forward, what would you say to your younger self? Know what you know right now. What would you say?
I would have said travel more when I was younger and tap into your skills. If there's something that you love and somebody's investing in you, if your mum's paying for you to go to drama school or whatever, tap into your skills and try and ascertain what you want to do, not as soon as possible, because I think it's good to have different experiences, but if you know that you like something and it's taking you places, tap into that, and opportunities knock. Be able to identify opportunities, because sometimes we turn them down and we think, oh, they're going to come back around again. Sometimes they don't knock twice.
That's
so
right.
take those opportunities and meet new people.
I like there's something that you said earlier when we were speaking, and you were saying about, I'm sure it was you, in regards to Richard Branson.
Yes.
And he said, even if someone asks you to do something, an opportunity, even if you don't know how to do it,
just give it a go.
Just take it and then figure out afterwards.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So, and that's what I think in regards to the vision board, which is going to be amazing for that actual workshop, because with the vision board, you actually see the vision of the end result to what you're working towards.
Yes.
So it's like you're going backwards.
Absolutely.
Because I remember hearing like Will Smith saying something like, when he does his film, he will have the actual end scene, and then he works all the way backwards. So
have the end in mind. You might be here at the beginning, but have the end in mind, because the end feels great. And that's what we'll talk about today. The end will feel great. Think about those feelings and what they conjure up. So have the end in mind. That's a good one.
Great. So what encouraging message would you give to our viewers? I mean, obviously you've shared so much already in terms of, the procrastination, etc. But what would you actually say to our viewers who may possibly be watching and thinking, you know what, I really want to do it, but, whatever it is that their burning passion is, but they don't have the finance, there's so many things that are stopping them. But what would you say to that person that's possibly watching, maybe even in the audience? What would you say to them?
I would say take that chance. And like you said, sometimes people don't have the finances, they don't have the right friends around them. I would say speak about what you want to do. So if you want to, I don't know, buy a house and you think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to be able to afford it because whatever, but speak about it. Because when people hear your story and when people hear what you're talking about, sometimes things come to you in weird ways.
Yeah.
And you think, oh my gosh, how am I here? Do you know what I mean? So let people know, you know, and don't be scared to just let it out and take that chance. I would say to people, take that chance, speak to people, because you don't know who knows that person that could help you out. So speak to people and share.
Definitely,
Yeah.
I like that. And also, be mindful about what you actually speak out
That's
as
so
well,
powerful.
because you speak about the law of attraction as
Yes.
well. Could you give us a bit more information on law of
So
attraction?
in terms of the law of attraction, it's like you are what you say. You know, like you are what you eat. And the tongue is very, very powerful, okay, for both positive and negative. So if, for example, you wake up on a Monday morning and you say, oh, today's going to be terrible. It is going to be a terrible day. You know, speak positive stuff into your day, into your younger people, into your friends, because eventually they'll start talking like you.
Yes.
So I'm not saying every day is a cloud 9 day, but I'm saying that be mindful, like you said, of what you say and what you put out, because the universe is feeling you and hearing you.
But would you not also say that's also in regards to what you listen to?
True.
You know, because even as much as you're speaking, but it's what you're allowed
Taking
to come
in.
inside.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to, say, negative music, that's the negativity that you're feeding into your spirit.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful. And I don't want to sound disrespectful to, you know, certain artists that are out there and things like that. But some of the lyrics, when you listen to the music of today, it's just like, really?
Absolutely.
You know, I was listening to one song the other day. I don't even really want to say it because I don't want no one to write no hate mails. But I'm going to say, you know, I was listening to one song and it's an old 90s song and it was like, you're my little secret and that's how we will keep it. And I'm thinking, wow, we was really singing that. You know, and it's, why should somebody be your secret for what you're doing? Do you understand what I'm saying?
And it almost becomes normal.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then you're devaluing yourself.
Absolutely.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what you're saying is, he's a secret, you're a secret, so...
And that's how we should keep it.
But
Yeah,
why?
yeah,
Do you understand?
yeah.
And it's no disrespect to you, Escape, because I love you.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying?
No.
And these are the things that's coming from our tongue also.
So we have to be very mindful about what we say.
Yeah.
That's what I would say, definitely.
And what you're listening
and what you're
to.
listening
Yeah.
to. And what you take in. People, negative people, they bring it as an energy as well. So you've got to be careful what you take in.
Definitely.
You've got to filter.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up the show. But before we do so, could you also let our viewers know what you did say about your social media network, but in terms of what upcoming events have you got planned in the pipeline?
So more vision board stuff, and also sort of reaching out to work with other coaches and developing stuff, and more Kazmac stuff. Definitely, yeah.
And also, I recall that you're thinking about doing like a vision board experience for the men.
Yeah, the men need it, and I've spoken to a few guys, and they're like, why don't you do one for us? So again, I'm looking for a guy who I could potentially co-host that event with, because I think men need to be here.
Definitely.
They need to be here.
Ladies,
Yeah.
do you agree? Do we need our men?
Yeah, because they have visions too.
Definitely. And it also empowers them as well.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we, you know, it's all great that us as women empowering ourselves, but at the same time, we need to have our men to be strong and know who they are.
And they feel left out.
Definitely.
They
yeah.
do. They feel
so
left out.
great. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. So guys, I hope you all enjoyed the show, but before we actually come to an end for this part only, is there any questions that you ladies would like to ask myself and Coach Carla?
Hi.
How do you get past your procrastination? I definitely have that feedback.
Okay, how you get past it again? Getting yourself a coach, and I'm not just trying to say get me, but what I'm saying is you're going to have to talk about it, and you're going to have to literally say, what am I trying to achieve here? What do I want out of life? And you're going to have to, you know what's really a good thing, to get a diary. and turn those pages, because every day is a new day. And if you're procrastinating, every day you're procrastinating, and you have to say, I can't waste time. So for me, it would be get a mentor, get a coach, and work on that procrastination. But a diary is or a calendar in the first instance, and just think, every day you're not doing something, you're not living your purpose. You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I also, I know that the question was aimed towards Coach Carla, but I would also add is this: listen to motivational speakers every single morning. There's so much information on YouTube, so you could actually just tap in dealing with procrastination.
Yeah.
You might get, like, say, Eric Thompson, you might get Les Brown. But if you listen to that every single morning while you're getting dressed, then that's feeding into your spirit. So you're thinking, okay, if I need to go gym, right, then I need to start planning that later on this evening I'm going to go gym, because you're telling yourself that, you're feeding yourself that, but you're going to have to take actions in order for those changes to happen.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Hi.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Great to be here. My name's Dana Byfield, and I'm the founder of a bespoke wealth creation company that helps women win the money game. So my question is to Coach Carla. So you spoke about, following on from the lady's comment about procrastination, you spoke about how you were suffering with that. What was it that changed for you to kind of draw a line under the sand, under procrastination, and move forward? Because I think a lot of people, I've suffered with that myself in previous lives, probably, not just this life. But I always found that it's one thing that kind of helps me. So what, in your experience, was that thing or that moment?
Yeah, I think there's two things. One was the fact that I was hitting 40, and in my head I said, so this decade I have to make some power moves. For my children, for myself. And another thing was my mother. And my mother is my role model. And she said, Carla, she speaks into me. She always has done. And it was her words that actually sort of made me say, oh, I've got to wake up now. But I think fundamentally it was the fact that I'm getting older, and I can't just be sitting here with this dream, with this potential that God's given me and this gift, and just not share it. So that's, for me, it was an age thing, I think. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions? Oh, this lady.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name's Karen Leo. I'm a driving instructor, and I work mostly with young people. So something that Coach Carla, you said earlier, was about empowering our young people. And I'm very passionate about young people taking charge of their outcomes.
Absolutely.
What would you suggest, and what are the things that you use in order to empower young people? Because we talk about men, we're talking about women, but we're also looking at the next generation coming up. And I think when we can capture them as early as possible, like I capture them in the driving seat, and I try and focus on what they're doing in school and colleges, and focus them on what their outcomes are, what the things they're interested in. Sometimes young people, they need that push.
They do.
And they're often wanting to walk with a crowd. They want to do what their friends are doing, but yet it's not what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it's sort of empowering them how to think for themselves and move forward with themselves.
Young people, and I'm being quite general here, but the children that I work with, they're 16 plus. A lot of our young people are broken, and not all of them, okay? But a lot of them are broken, and they come to me, they're not even ready to be coached. We can't even look at coaching yet. We have to look at other interventions. So it might be counselling. It might be them just popping into my office saying, Miss, this is how I feel, and just listening to them. But when I get them to the point where they start to feel confident in themselves, I set them little tasks, like go to your lesson, go to 3 lessons this week instead of none. And when they've done that, I'm like, come, let's celebrate this. We have to celebrate our young people.
We
We
me
really
goosebumps when
do.
you say
And
that.
not just us women, because us women are we're fantastic, and we're always the ones to champion. I mean, look at this event. But we have to get our men involved, our communities, and everybody else. We have to get people involved to champion our young people and tell them that they're great. Speak into them. look at their talents and use their talents and their skills. So that's what I would say. Sorry, my mouth's really dry.
No, no.
And I agree. And what I also want to add in terms of what Coach Carla said in regards to look at their talents, because a lot of us as parents, we're so focused on our children going to university and doing all these things, and literally the talent is so blatantly obvious, but we miss it because we're thinking what everybody else, society is telling
academia.
you. They need to go university. For example, I don't know if you've watched one of our episodes. We had two uni graduates, and basically one of them, she's got her own baking company called Bake That Cake. Now she went and studied forensic science. She's got her own business doing Bake That Cake, quite the opposite. However, what she was doing as a youngster, she used to do her drawing and everything else. Now she started off doing a drawing on her bedroom wall, and her mum must have found out. She's thinking she's going to be in trouble, and her mum was like, "You did that picture?" Not realising that her child has got these talents. Now she's baking cakes for the Princess Trust, got the Queen doing cakes and everything else. So what I would say is really just ask some questions. What's your interest? What do you like to do? And just, encouraging them in that way, rather than saying, this is what you must do, because they feel pressured by that. And sometimes it's not necessary to give your child those pressures.
That's absolutely fantastic, because you've shown me that I'm on the right track, because that's what I do. A lot of young people, I find, they want you to take interest in them.
Yes.
You know, one young girl I'm teaching, she loves doing hair, but nobody knows about it. But now I know it, I can tell other people.
That's right.
You know, and encourage them to move in the direction of their interests, because it's not necessarily going to be what their role is as a job in the future, but it could turn into a business like Bake That Cake.
That's right. And there's so many youngsters. I mean, social media is a great platform, because when you're on Instagram, you're seeing all these young children,
doing great stuff.
motivational speakers, motivating other youngsters. And in order for them to do that, it comes from what's being shown to them in the home. In order for them to do certain things and do it confidently, we need to ensure that we are kind of like all right within ourselves as well. So if it's a case that, you may be going through certain challenges yourself personally, get help. Don't feel no shame about it. I went counselling before I started Not Ordinary Woman Chat Show, because there were certain things that I needed to deal with before I could even serve anybody else. Do you know what I mean, kind of thing? So, get yourselves in a right frame of mind so that you can help another person. Because the thing about life is we're here to help each other. We're all linked to each other in some shape or form. But if we don't focus on everybody else and start loving other people, and we're just all about self and self and self, then we have a broken world which we're living in right now, because we're not thinking about love. Love conquers everything, but you have to love self in order for you to love somebody else. So deal with your brokenness. And like what Coach Carla said, some of the kids are not ready for that.
They're not.
But she's counselling, mentoring those children so that they can be
coached. Because they achieve amazing things.
It's heartbreaking when, for instance, one of my pupils, she just said to me, "You're the only person who believes in me." So I said, "What about your mum and your dad?" And she's like, "No." And that's behind closed doors. You're not going to see that unless you speak to that young person.
Sure. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else got any questions?
This lady. Just over there.
Hi, my name's Glenda Bennett. I'm a support worker and I'm also a travel agent. And I totally agree with that lady, what that lady just said, because I get the young people that are in care and 16 plus. And as you said, they're broken. But how do I get social service to actually work with someone like yourself? Because they tend to want to just get them to 18. Okay, that's it, you're done now. But the guy, I think somebody has somewhere spoken to somebody and they've said something, because now they've reversed it, because before it would be when you can be looked after until you're 25 if you're in education. However, now they've reversed it to say that all the young people that were in care and left, and they was sort of like left care and they've discharged them and everything, they're now actually having to bring them all back in, so they have to support them until they're 25. Now there's a lot of them there that needs to move forward, like with something like what you do, but then getting social service to actually
invest in
them
yeah.
and point them in the direction, because they're talking about CAMS and things like that. Kids don't want to do CAMS.
Yeah, and I think in school, just not because I'm a life coach, I think life coaching should be taught in school.
Exactly.
I think that our children should learn to have a goal, and make it realistic, and have the options and show them the way forward. Our children need life coaching in schools, you know, from so high, so that they've got something. But again, it's governments and agendas and red tape and all of this. It's crazy. But one of my aims and my ambitions are to work with young people and, you know, run vision board sessions for young people, and not just young people who come from fantastic homes, but for the children that need that, that need to be in a hotel like this and have a three-course Caribbean buffet, and to have ambassadors like us to kind of show them the way. So we are working on that. That is definitely in the pipeline. You're going to see that.
Good.
Is there any more questions? Okay. All right, so we're going to enter to the next stage of the event. If you ladies want to go to the restroom, feel free to do so, and then we're going to start.
Come back. Yeah.
Your vision, your life. So we see you in literally 3 minutes.
Thank
and
you.
we're timing you. Thank you, ladies.
Woman, you are the key. It's only natural. Woman, you are the start. You are the beginning. And that is a problem.